What's up, you guys? Justin and Michelle, and we're here today to review an article by Keeping Current Matters. The title of it is Housing Experts Say This Is Not a Bubble. So, with so much talk about economic slowdown right now, a lot of people are getting concerned that there's going to be another crash like there was in 2008. And a lot of the experts are weighing in saying, no, 2008 is nothing like today's market. So Justin, can you kind of give your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so the article, as they jump in, they say Odeshi Kushi, who is the deputy chief economist at First American, says, this is not the same market of 2008. It's no secret that housing market played a central role in the Great Recession, but this market is just fundamentally different in so many ways.
Yes.
The first way that they point to is that among the differences between today's housing market and that of 2008 housing crash is that lending standards are tighter due to the lessons learned and the regulations enacted after the latest crisis. What they're talking about was in 2006, 7, 8, their lending programs were so loose that so many people that shouldn't be getting loans were getting loans. And so they were buying not one home, some of them were buying 2 homes, 3 homes, not to mention there was appraisal fraud going on. There were all these other things that were big problems in the industry. And so what happened was these people suddenly couldn't afford their home.
Yeah.
Well, no duh, because they shouldn't have been able to afford it in the first place. They shouldn't have been able to be qualified in the first place. And so it's no surprise that people started to have foreclosures, people started getting behind on their payments.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the main problem with 2008 is now these people are foreclosing, and foreclosures are one of the main things that bring property values down.
Yes.
Your grass starts to die. The people don't take care of the houses. And so now the banks have got to unload these properties quickly at a discount to move them off their books, off their spreadsheets. Not to mention the stock market is starting to crash at this point. And so this is kind of what fueled the flame versus if you fast forward to today, our standards are much, much, much tighter.
Yeah.
People that can get loans right now, it's because they're qualified.
Yes.
It's because they can actually afford it. And so yes, if they lose their job, that's going to be tough to maybe make their payments, but they absolutely can afford it, and that's a big difference from 2008 to now.
Yeah, and so and another huge difference between 2008 and the current market is there was a supply and demand issue back in 2008, and we don't necessarily have that problem today, correct?
No, we had built a lot of homes. In fact, a ton of extra homes.
Yeah.
Everybody and their dog was becoming a builder. Everybody was buying extra spec houses because they had heard success stories. So like, dude, just pay this money, build this house, and by the time it's done built, you're gonna make $100,000. It's gonna be awesome. And so a lot of these people started building houses that shouldn't have been building houses. Everybody doubled, tripled, quadrupled their output. And so we had more inventory than buyers that were available. And of course, that's a problem. You guys all know this because you have seen the opposite effect in the last few years of what low inventory does with a high amount of buyers, how that drives the prices up.
Yes.
And so back in 2008, it was the reverse effect of that. And too many houses and not enough buyers meant that prices had to fall to make those things happen.
Interesting. So if you guys have been following us, you have heard us talk about inventory going up every single week. So Justin, at what point is that going to be a concern? At what point are we going to start to see prices potentially fall?
Why you got to throw me the tough questions that we don't talk about?
Because I'm the interviewer in this one. That's my job.
No, so it's a really good question,
Yeah.
right? Because inventory has been raising, went from 1,700 homes in January, now we're up to over 9,000 today. And so if that keeps going up and we hit 20,000 homes, yes, you will see prices drop significantly. Here in Utah, however, we still have a 20,000 home shortage.
Yeah.
And so, although we do think inventory is still going to keep going up to a more healthy number of around 13,000, that to me is going to be kind of the tipping point, where if it keeps going up above that, you'll have to see prices drop a little bit more to compensate that.
Yeah.
However, I think that by the time it hits there, we're gonna have inflation more under control. And once inflation's under control, you're gonna see interest rates start going down. And once interest rates start going back down, that's when all these buyers that are currently living with mom, currently living with dad, currently living with brother, family, friends, sleeping on the couch, right? They still need a place.
Oh yeah.
And rent is still super expensive.
Yes.
And so when that mortgage payment all of a sudden makes sense, those people are going to need a place to live, and they're gonna start eating up that inventory again before it gets to more devastating levels, which, just for the record, our high of inventory was back in June 30th, 2011.
Wow. What number were we?
19,400 homes
Wow.
in the market. Now, Utah's population has grown by 20% since then.
Wow.
So if we add 20% to the 19,000, that's like 2,000 extra homes.
Yeah.
So if we hit 22,400 homes, that would basically be the equivalent of where we were at, I guess, or is it 21,000? 21,400, not 21,400 homes. That would be the equivalent of the high, devastating levels of inventory that would really see prices go down.
Interesting. Awesome. Well, if you guys need some more info, reach out to us, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
See ya.
See ya.